Hey, welcome back to News from the Real World podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Kevin.
We're here in Design One Studio, Purnell Center again to bring you 3 articles about entertainment and technology in the real world. We're starting with an article in Hackerspace, a blog that talks about 5 ways to get on your professor's good side. And they're mostly what not to do.
Yeah, and they were pretty common sense.
Yeah.
Like, don't be an idiot. And it's kind of like common sense this kind of applies to everything. Like listen to the people around you and respect them and don't be stupid.
Try not to walk into walls.
Right, maybe try.
You know, they were common sense, but people still do
I know.
all the time.
You're right, but are those people going to read this article and think, this applies to me?
Yeah,
You know?
what number 3 in this list of 5 things is put in at least some effort.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty low bar to me.
Well,
At least
we're talking about the don't ask if it'll be on the exam, which
Right.
seems fairly obvious.
I guess you're
but
right.
anytime I sit in a big class, inevitably someone sits there and
Is this
says,
gonna be
"Is
on
this
the
going to be on the exam?"
Yeah.
The teacher's like, "That's why I'm teaching it."
Well, like, even
It
if
is
it's not
important.
like this is relevant, so just shut up.
Yeah, just shut up and listen.
But I
to me
guess that's
talking.
but I guess that's what I mean. Like with regards to the common sense, like with people around you, it's like I don't care if this is like directly. Do I need to know what you're saying? Okay, shut up.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, can I just be kind of like
Is
that?
it important to my grades?
I feel like when people ask that, will this be on the exam? Just like, no.
No,
And then
absolutely
just-
not.
and then
Just
slide.
just
Yeah, right.
you can just sit back and relax.
You can go.
But have people, I mean, I guess I haven't been a student in like 2 years, but like, do people ask that?
Yeah.
I haven't really had it in the School of Drama, but I take classes in Tepper and in the math department, and they're huge, and you'll have 100 students, and at the end of every class, someone goes, "Is all this going to be on the exam?" The teacher's just like, "It doesn't matter.
What's even
Right.
weirder
Like,
is
I'm going to teach it."
the
It's
teachers
important."
who preempt it. I'm taking a class in mechanical engineering right now, and the teacher constantly says, "This isn't going to be on the quiz or anything." Like he'll say that
Oh.
over and over again about things that I would think were kind of key. Actually,
Yeah.
it's strange. It is a different
Weird.
world outside the School of Drama. Anyway,
It's really strange.
what are some of the other things?
Follow instructions.
Yeah, follow instructions. Read the syllabus. Actually, read the syllabus is a good
I was
one.
actually I was thinking about disobeying the instructions.
Well,
I wasn't gonna do
Do
I
that.
should-
something completely different.
I shouldn't just do whatever I
I'm just
want.
gonna do my own thing.
Read the syllabus is a good one though, because
Yeah.
half the time the stupid question you're gonna ask is answered in the very first document that you got.
See, I realized that I like never do that.
Yeah.
I never read through the entire syllabus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, mostly because like first day of class, like the professor like always goes through it,
Mhm.
Oh, I hate that.
which is kind of a waste of time.
It is a total waste of
like,
time.
you feel like okay,
Right.
you
I
should
like,
just read
if
this.
you don't trust
Yeah.
your students to read the syllabus, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't read it for them.
But
Yeah.
clearly
So-
they shouldn't trust me to do it.
Right. Obviously, they were
It also
right.
shouldn't take an hour.
Yeah, I showed up for a class on Monday actually that was not scheduled, and it was right there on the syllabus. So
Yeah.
all I had to do was look at it.
Yeah.
All right, next we're talking about I don't even know how to say this.
Diagonal.
Diagonal.
Are there
Diagon Alley. Are you guys
Diagon
not,
Alley.
like,
Diagon? I
It's
don't know.
from
Are we
Harry
not
Potter.
nerds?
It's the
Tell me more about this Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. He's
Yeah.
a wizard from
Okay,
England.
Wizard, England, got it.
They made a
well, we
theme
should
park
we should
in
say
his
he's
honor.
fictional.
He is fictional, right? He's not
Well,
real.
Is he?
The wizards aren't real either.
No, but I've seen like footage of him. I know it.
So I've never had anything to do with the Harry Potter series. I'm probably the one person in America that doesn't know anything about it. But apparently at Universal Studios theme park, they've done a really good job of reinventing or reproducing really. What is it? Like a street, a wizard shop
It's
street?
like a
Yeah.
market
I
or
think
something.
it's
It's,
like
so
a-
funny because I was looking at this and I'm like, wow, they're talking about how amazing this theme park is,
And then
it's
they
like it looks totally unimpressive.
It looks really
like
lame.
it
Yeah.
looks like a movie set that's like not lit correctly and
Right.
like walls look like they're like falling over.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I didn't realize that anybody still cared about Harry Potter.
Oh my God, so many people
Yes.
do.
I mean, I read the 5th. I barely made it through the 5th book, and then the 6th one came out, and it was like
Oh, that's where I stopped.
9. It was like 900 pages, and I was like, I'm out.
In
I'll
that
just, like,
same
find
vein-
out what happens on IMDb.
Yeah.
After they make the movie.
Wikipedia.
In that same vein, I'm always constantly surprised how many people care about these theme parks. This guy
Yeah.
like really loves theme parks and knows a lot about them. And I've met a few people like this that are. It's not really the content of the theme park that matters. It's not that it's Harry Potter or Star Wars or whatever it might be. It's
Right.
the fact that these places exist and there's a whole group of people who are totally fascinated with them.
I feel like the reason these theme parks are successful is because that is not their target audience.
Who isn't their target?
The people who are super into it, because he was talking about how Disney's gonna ruin it. How
Right.
Disney's gonna they're gonna take
Put
Star Wars
monsters
and then
on
put Mickey
R2D2.
Mouse in it and like
Yeah.
give him Jedi robes. And I was like, yeah, because that's what everyone else wants. Like
They're gonna
maybe
Disney
you don't
flex
want
on
it, but all the
Yes.
kids that are gonna go to a Disney Star
Right.
Wars theme park are gonna want Mickey Mouse with a lightsaber.
Yeah,
That's
it
what I
may
would
be.
want to see.
Yeah, totally. It may be true that there's more Disney fans than there are Star Wars
Wow,
fans.
that is
Yeah.
like some serious copyright infringement.
No,
But they own
Disney
it.
bought Star
Yeah,
They own
Wars.
it.
They own
Yeah,
it.
Disney bought Star Wars.
They can do
Yeah.
That's why
whatever they
there's
want.
going to be an episode 7
They
because
are
Disney has the rights
kings.
now.
Ew.
Of the copyright.
Good reaction, I like that.
Disney out.
So,
Yeah, so I don't know what. I guess it's good news for us though because they're doing these things all the time and they need designers and technicians just like
Yeah.
anything else. But
I mean, if I wanted
I'll
to
paint
work on
those
it, it would be
sets.
great.
well, I mean, there's only so many ways you can hide a fire hydrant, right? I mean, that's the real thing. Like what I always look for in those pictures are like
Yeah.
the service boxes and the Wi-Fi transceivers
fire
around. Like
extinguisher.
Do we have a class on that here?
on theme park,
How to
How to
hide
camouflage
fire
your
extinguishers?
fire
I'm sure we can work that out.
I think it
That's
comes up a
such
lot though, especially with exit signs.
Yeah, we
Covering up
talk about
exit
exit
signs is
signs
a
a lot.
huge
Yeah.
ordeal.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Should we
women,
move on?
women, if they don't get jobs designing theme parks, they could always work off Broadway. Apparently,
They can always, unless you're a sound designer.
unless you're a
says
sound
they.
designer.
I think
This-
that this was kind of a weird article. They were going through a bunch of off-Broadway statistics about
What's the
number of.
But only 22. They only did
Right.
22 theaters. That's the lamest sample
Right.
size for any statistic I've ever
And
seen.
they
Really
didn't.
small.
They just went off of the names in the program.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
it
It's like, how
wasn't-
do you know?
Like, what about like Pat Smith?
But
Like,
what
Yeah.
confuses me, if
Joey
they put
Santona.
if they put a lot of effort into it, I guess the 22 might make sense. But if all they were doing was reading playbills, I don't understand why they didn't at least get a couple hundred. For this
Right.
kind of statistic, it
Right.
seems
Also-
like it's too easy to fudge. Like
And-
you just pick the ones you want.
And there's no way that 22 theater companies is anywhere near a good sample size for
Right.
Broadway, off-Broadway, and off-Broadway theater.
Right.
I mean, there's literally thousands of companies doing
Yeah.
productions.
It did seem a little bit strange. And then they had that little, they said about the sound designers, like, that it was 12% or something, and they were like, but this is dominated primarily by this.
12% of what?
12% of sound designers in off-Broadway were women. I think it said 12.
Mhm.
And they said,
20.
22, am I wrong?
A
Oh.
low of 14, a high of 22.
A high of 22. And they said, but this was dominated by
Mostly by one sound designer.
person. And it was like, but this is just in this very specific, tiny, insular group.
Right,
Like,
it also-
that says nothing to me about female sound designers in
Being
general.
dominated by one person makes it feel like they're all similar theaters too.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
It's
yeah.
not like a broad statistic. It's a
Right.
let's look at this tiny little cluster and make
Yeah.
a broad generalization about it.
Right. Because I'd be interested in that broad, I'd be interested in a broad
In like a real
survey.
statistic, but these
Yeah.
numbers just didn't
Or
seem
even if they
useful.
were like, even if it was more narrow and they were just talking about like, New York, for instance, but like they never said that. They sort of
Right.
present these findings and say like, we looked through the playbills and like found the names of men and women and like organized them into these statistics, which like in itself is not like the most reliable way to collect data.
Right.
But then like they sort of just put this out there as the state of theater
Totally.
in
Well-
the world.
It's like-
It's not bound. They don't specify any constrictions on the
Mhm.
data that they collect.
Totally.
I mean, the report is put out by the League of Professional Theater Women, so obviously they're very concerned with the rate of employment for theater professionals
Right.
who are female
Right.
in all venues, not just off Broadway.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, even if the numbers are kind of, suspect, I'm a little annoyed by the 36% designers that are female.
Well,
and
yeah,
actually,
You wish it were 0.
that's certainly working in
You
revenue.
wish it were 0. It's way too high.
That's
Sorry,
just
I
a
took-
lot
I
of
missed that
women.
joke, yeah. Why are so many women? I mean, and it's actually really different than my personal experience
Yeah.
in regional theater.
I would agree.
It's not rare for me to have worked with a male designer, but it's certainly not the norm.
Scenic?
Scenic designer.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've worked with probably half and half, I think, as an
Yeah,
assistant.
I was very surprised by that. The
Yeah.
36%. That was.
Well, this panel is only 25% female.
It's true.
That's true.
Think about that.
Well, it's usually not though. It's usually 50.
It's
We
actually
are,
usually
we are
more.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
Here it is.
But no, I
You wanna-
mean, even
Do I have to stay?
I'm fine.
should I go?
wanna go too.
No, but even these statistics, even if they only represent 22 theaters, like that's still like the statistics are still pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for stage managers.
Except for stage managers, they're like 75% women.
80%.
Which is
Always.
almost the like kind of it almost bothers me more. It's like, oh yeah, stage management, oh that's a woman's job. Kind of like that's what
Yeah.
that number
Yeah.
sort of makes me like cringe about a little bit. Is that that's traditionally a woman's role or something
Yeah.
like that. It's also
Can you get
kind
me
of,
a coffee? Like I
Yeah.
clean up after me when I'm done with this.
Oh, is that,
because
that's what
that's what stage managers do, right, Atitra? Right? That's mostly what they do.
No. Cut me out of this segment.
All right, I think we've solved a lot of problems in this segment.
Definitely.
I think we've really come to a lot of important conclusions.
National change.
And I personally am going to hire every female set designer that I can find.
That's so
From now on.
sexist.
You found one.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll be back for one more segment after a break.